Yo, so what is up guys? This is Fade back here. Alright, current time is 1:21 a.m. in Asia Pacific. No, not Asia Pacific. It's in Asia UTC plus 8 timing. Yay. So welcome back to another Genshin video. Today we will be talking about the new character in our banner, which is Emilie. Okay, so Emilie is a 5-star Dendropoam character that ascends with crit damage stat when you ascend her. Alright, up to 84.4% with 50% base included. Alright, so her role in the team for me is like, from her whole kit and overall experience, is going to be like a off-field DPS and a sub-burst DPS. So two of those roles, right? Let's start with her kit. Okay, so combat talent, like normal attack, so it's just normal, pretty decent. 4 hit damage at level 6. Charge attack, plunge. Yeah, technically it's just like that, right? So her whole like core of her kit is like her elemental skill and her burst. Okay, so her elemental skill is like summon a lantern on field. Okay, so lantern on field, this lantern will like deals constant danger damage to enemies, okay, like over time. So, if there are nearby opponents affected by burning, they'll create a scent. So this scent can be created like one every 2 seconds. And the case automatically will collect nearby scent, and after gathering 2 scent or more, like the case will upgrade to level 2. Yeah, it's something like Yae-Miko turrets, but instead of like Yae-Miko turrets where you deploy more, they just upgrade to more levels. This one, like, it upgrades like itself, yeah, to the max level possible, which is like level 2. Okay, so what happens at level 2 of the turret is it will start like firing one more extra like Pierdu and increase damage and the AoE. Okay, so one case created by Emilie herself can exist at any time. The case starts at level 1, yeah, and can go to level 2. If the case did not collect any sense for 8 seconds while it is on the field, it will automatically revert back to level 1. Right, so this skill is a pneuma skill, okay, a pneuma like sided skill. So for those who don't remember the special word for this, yeah, just remember it's like the like thing, same as when you cast new village skill, yeah. Okay, so this is her scaling for level 9, which is actually not too bad, I would say. 80, 67.3, and 142.8 times 2, yeah. Overall, it's not bad because the case duration is actually quite long, 22 seconds, and the cooldown is 14 seconds. Yep, so any skill that covers the skill cooldown is technically a good skill. Yeah. Right. Next, we have her elemental burst, which is actually dead honestly straightforward. Okay, so she creates a level 3 case, okay, through an elemental burst immediately. So this case will not gather any nearby sense, but it will continuously cause centered due to descent. You can just assume that this thing will just land beams on the enemy, okay? Attacking opponents within this range and dealing danger damage. During this time, one drop of centered dew will descend every 0.3 seconds, and one opponent can become the target every 0.7 seconds. Right, so after calculation, 2.8 seconds, yeah, you heard it right. Her elemental burst only holds up for 2.8 seconds. Right, this means that she will land about 9 or 10 like scented dew, yeah. So she can lock up to, if there are like that many amount of enemies within the area, yeah, then she can, yeah, then she can probably land, like the efficiency of this elemental burst will actually be full. If there are like lesser enemies, then this efficiency will be like much lower. Okay, When the duration ends, a level 1 case will be recreated. If the case was stored away when using the elemental burst, then the case will like be redeployed and the duration will be reset. Okay, when elemental burst exists, any case from elemental skill or whatever method will not exist. So during elemental burst, only this level 3 case will exist. Yep. So here is her like her level 9 skilling. I was planning to crown this actually, but yes, you can see I don't have enough materials. Yeah. So 2.8 seconds, so it's a really short time burst, but overall the burst damage is really high, and the cooldown, the energy cost is actually really low. It's just 50. Yeah, same as Nahida ulti, but the way she can obtain her energy is actually really constant. Okay, and the cooldown is kind of long, but consider rotations and other stuff, it's actually fine. Yeah. So next we have her passive talent, 3 of them. Right, let's talk about the one when you unlock when you get her. Okay, so if as long as there is a case on the field, all party members gain 85% pyro rest against burning damage. Great, because we finally won't kill ourselves when we are using Nahida to play burning. This is a good thing. Yes, I wonder how many times did I die because I was playing Nahida burning team. Yay. Okay, next is her level 20 ascended passive talent. So what this thing does is each time it collects 2 cents, the level 2 case will consume cents and release clear deal colony that deals AoE danger damage equals to 600% of Emilie's attack to opponents. This damage is not considered elemental skill damage. Right. So for those who have plans about using elemental skill artifact sets, yeah, your dreams might be gone. Yeah. Right. So about this talent, after testing like these few hours and also like trying over and over the same thing, I realized there's a slight problem on this thing. Okay, because the fact that her lantern here have so her as I mentioned just now from the skill, her lantern can collect like cents to upgrade itself. So at 2 cents, the lantern gains level 2. So the lantern can hold up to like a total of 4 cents. Okay, so after testing, I'm sure, like pretty sure myself, but I'm not sure about others, but for myself, this talent only triggers when you have maximum of 4 cents. Okay, so after 4 cents, only if you collect 2 extra cents, this talent will only start triggering. Yeah, so means you need to like, this talent only triggers when you collect at the 6 cents. Okay, at the 6. Instead of like you start at 4. No, it actually don't, because like I was literally looking at the numbers, I was looking at the animations and everything, and at 4 I just don't know why it doesn't trigger this talent, and it only triggers at the 6th stack. Yeah. Yeah, I actually don't know. I don't know, it's just a me problem or whatsoever, yeah, but I'm just pretty tired after testing over and over again. Yeah. Alright, next you get this at her level 60 ascended talent, rectification. So after 60 ascended, you get this. So what this does is when Emilie is dealing damage to burning opponents, okay, her damage will be increased based on the attack. So 1000 attack will increase her damage down by 15%. So up the way, all the way to like 36%. So after calculations, it's around 2400 attack. Yeah. Yeah, so attack included, not base attack mentioned, so yeah, like this is fine. Alright, so let's talk about her artifact sets. Okay, so I only recommend one and only 4-piece set for her if you're like, if you want to play her as DPS and you don't want to waste her damage. Okay, I only recommend one and only 4-piece, which is Unfinished Reverie. Okay, for those who don't know where we can farm this, just search for the newest domain in Fontaine. Yeah, and you can farm for this, right? Why would I like high like recommend this so hard is because the 2-piece give attack 18% is a thing. Okay, the 4-piece, it says after leaving combat for 3 seconds, damage dealt increased by 50%. Okay, this effect still triggers if the equipping character is off field. Yeah, and in combat, if no burning opponents are nearby, the damage will drop. But if there is a burning opponent exists, it will increase by 10% instead until it reaches 50%. Yep, so regardless of burning or not burning, okay, but obviously her most optimal kit is to play burning. But this set is obviously very good for Emily because after leaving combat for 3 seconds, which means that she will stay most of the time at the back line, okay, off field. So this thing will fully maximize her damage output. And even if you come out for like for a while, like for to throw the burst, because the burst is actually 3 seconds. Yeah, so you technically won't affect much on the damage, like damage bonus decrease. Like this thing technically just doesn't exist. Yeah. So yeah, I only recommend this 4-piece for her because damage wise this is the best. But if you are going for like support wise, okay, or if you are just lazy to farm this piece, yeah, like this 4-piece, you can give deep wood. Okay, deep wood is a solid option. But the damage numbers will be like a lot of diff compared to like reverie. Yeah. So this is for those who are lazy to like farm for reverie, or you just don't have a like reverie set. Yeah, then you can use this as temporary solution. Right, another insane idea that people told me they have is like using tenacity. Yeah, tenacity, using tenacity as support. Yeah, so this idea is actually pretty crazy. I don't even dare to start and test it. Yeah. So coming to stats, I would suggest crit rate, Dendro damage bonus, attack percent, and prioritize double crit for substats. Yep. Because the fact that her elemental skill doesn't actually like how do I say? It doesn't actually like hit a lot of times, even though the duration is actually quite long. So yeah, having more crit rate to ensure she crits is actually pretty dead important. Okay, next, her weapons. Her weapons are actually, it doesn't like really have much a huge gap except for her signature weapon and Shenhe's signature weapon. Those two weapons are the ones that are extremely suitable for her and for her only. Okay, so if you don't have those two weapons, I have a bit of solution for you, I guess. Okay, so obviously there are some spears I actually don't have here, but how should I say this? I will try to like give you all the best solution as possible. Okay, for those who are engulfing lightning, you can consider giving this, but giving engulfing lightning technically means you invest all into her burst, and when only you activate her burst, you get the attack percent bonus. Yeah, which means all her power are you get keep it in the elemental burst. Okay, so but once after you activate your elemental burst, your attack percent should run up and it should be fine. Yeah. Alright, so next you can also give the Jetwing Spear. So this thing gives crit rate, which is extremely good because she actually needs crit rate. I'm not joking, she needs crit rate. Okay, and her base attack is actually the second highest among spears, like 674. The highest one will be Shenhe's signature weapon, which is like 700 something. Yeah. So and besides like on hit, it also increases your attack like for 3.9% on 6 seconds. Yeah. So this thing, if at max stacks, it also gives you a ton of attack percent and also damage dealt. Yeah, but the downside is you need to keep her on field if you are using a Jetwing Spear. Yeah. So next will be Skyward Spine. So overall quite a good spear. Technically, anyone can use it. Right, so ignore the weapon passive. We're going to talk about the base attack. So the base attack is same as Jetwing Spear, 674, and it gives a good amount of ER, 36.8, and it also increases your crit rate by 8%. Yeah, and the normal attack bonus, we should not talk about it. Yeah, so just leave it there. Okay, so another one is Homa. You can actually give Homa in. It's just for the. It's just like a stat stick. Okay, so base attack 608. Third highest. Actually not the highest. The fourth highest. Okay, because the third highest is taken by this thing. Yeah. So it increases HP. Additionally, provides an attack bonus based on 0.8% of the wielder's max HP. Yeah, when it's less than 50% HP, the attack bonus will be higher. But it depends on what team you're actually playing. So this thing, you can only maximize the weapon passive if your Emilie's HP is lower at 50%. Like the HP is lower than 50%, yeah. So otherwise, it's all like the stats here, like 608 and 66.2. Alright, so if you don't have any of the 5-star weapons I mentioned here, or you have other 5-star one, you can just slide onto her. If you don't have, I had prepared a few 4-star solutions just for broke people that doesn't have any good 5-star spear, or yeah, or they just like unlucky they didn't get their 5 stars pole arm. Yeah. Okay, so first one will be Moon Piercer. So why Moon Piercer? Because this thing, it gives you EM. EM is one thing. Okay, the base attack is 565, considered kind of high among 4 stars. And besides, if you trigger like any of the danger related reaction, you will drop a leaf of revival. So picking up this leaf of revival will gain the character who picked up 32% attack for 12 seconds. So refinement 1 will be 16% attack. Yeah, so overall it's actually good, and this effect can still be triggered if the character is not on the field. So this means that Emilie can fully like utilize this weapon, okay, and she herself can also pick this up and have attack booster for 12 seconds. Yep, so this is the first weapon I'll recommend. Alright, next will be Wave Breaker Spin. Okay, so this weapon is actually dead simple. It increases the character's elemental burst damage based on the whole team's elemental burst damage energy requirement. Yeah, the energy capacity. So this means that having a higher team energy capacity for her, then her ultimate damage will be higher. But this weapon is kind of like situational compared to like the other ones. Yeah. So next will be the catch. The catch is also actually usable, so it increases elemental burst damage by 32% and the crit rate by 12%. It also gives ER but has a really low base attack, so you might need to actually reconsider if you like using a weapon that there's like low base attack and it doesn't really give like any attack percent boost. Okay, so next will be Deathmatch. Okay, Deathmatch, it's like really low base attack, but the good thing about this weapon is it gives a lot of crit rate, so 36.8. And also, if there are like at least 2 opponents nearby, your attack is increased by 16%. If there are less than 2 opponents, your attack is increased by 24%. So technically you fix your attack percent, okay, but at the same time, like, this weapon have a really low base attack. So after equipping this weapon with Pyro Resonance, which is 25% attack increase, so my attack percent landed at around like 2.19k. okay, I'll just assume that as 2.2k. okay, so that's for those weapons you can actually use. So, or you can actually use Missive Wind Spear. Like, it's actually usable. It's surprisingly a usable weapon for Emilie. Alright, like, considering the attack percent it gives, and you can stably trigger the weapon passive. Yeah, this is also a good weapon. And another weapon that actually I am quite surprised is Dragon's Bane. Okay, so it, besides having a low base attack, it gives EM. Okay, EM is it's another thing because Emilie doesn't actually rely too much on EM. But what makes this weapon like surprisingly fine for me is the the weapon passive. Yeah, it increases damage against opponents affected by hydro or pyro by 36%. Yeah, so I actually tried this weapon. Like, it's not much of a diff like against like Moon Piercer, Deathmatch, and Dragon's Bane. Yeah, it's actually not too far diff. I mean, obviously it might be lower, but it's not too far. Like, the range is just there. Yeah. So in case if you don't have any of the weapons I mentioned above, then worst case, I guess you can go for Favonius Lance. Yeah, that's the worst case scenario you can actually go for. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I explained. Okay, one more thing I want to criticize is on her constellation. So for people who are looking for min max investment, okay, so Constellation 1 is what you will be looking forward to. Okay, what's so important about her C1 is besides increasing the damage dealt by 20%, the whole important point is actually the second part of the cons. So it says when nearby party members trigger the burning reaction on opponents or deal danger damage to burning opponents, they will generate an additional scent. This effect can be triggered once every 2.9 seconds. So this means that immediately the moment you you triggered burning reaction on your first time, you immediately gain level 2 the case. Level 2 case instead of like you need to wait for another 2 seconds. So this means immediately on the spot you already start with level 2. You don't have to wait on the field for like 2 seconds. Extra 2 seconds. Yeah, you don't. You just immediately start on the spot and you already get it. This is why the C1, in my personal opinion, is one of the most crucial constellations if you want to pull for Emilie. Yeah. And her C2 is actually pretty damage wise also. Yeah. So her C2 is when either the skill or the burst or the like talent, the Clear Dew Cologne produced by the passive talent. Yeah, if any of these hits opponents, those opponents' danger rest is decreased by 30% for 10 seconds. Yep. So she can either be a support or she can either be like a DPS. Yeah, that's how unique she actually is, because if we take a special look, like a wider look for Dendro characters, so our Dendro characters are actually pretty obvious. So this is once the best Dendro on, this is like Dendro on field. Okay, it's fixed. Okay, this will be Dendro off field, and this, I don't know why is it here. Okay, this is also an off field. This is also an off field. This is an off field and a healer, and this is also a half off field. Okay, so if you like see from this perspective, like all of them, it's either like they are locked to either electric or they are locked to like other reactions. But if you are if you have Emilie here, then your Dendro team might be slightly different, because she specifies burning team instead of like you can go quicken, aggravate, spread, and all those. Yeah, technically it's very hard on her team. If you want to force those reactions inside, yes you can, but it might be like a bit hard for players to actually control the reactions and all the stuff. Yeah, so yeah, that's technically what I want to say about her. So yeah, her ratio should be around like something like this, or whatever it is. Just make sure the crit rate is 80 and above. Okay, you don't want to lose like DPS just because you have low crit rate. Right, next is her team combination. So the most basic team is like this. Yeah, double pyro resonance give you 25% increased attack. Kazuha for swirl pyro and overall higher burning damage, and Emilie as like sub burst DPS. Yeah, if you want to force it on field, it's like kind of hard also. Yeah, so the whole point of this team is like you keep rotating here and there just to like trigger all the small numbers, yeah, that eventually fuse into big numbers. Yeah, or you can just put Zhongli too, because he gives like yeah, it reduces enemies like rest overall. So he's flexible in literally any team. So in a team like this, you can put into, or you can put Nahida. Okay, my Nahida is running Deepwood, so it increases the EM. Okay, so as I said, EM is not really important on Emilie. So but Nahida can act like as a support, or you can run Zhongli with Deepwood, but I'm running my Zhongli in Tenacity. Yeah, so sometimes I'll just slide a Nahida in and whatsoever. Yeah. So other than that, what I actually did is actually chlorine. So I did like burning and overload at the same time. Luckily Xiangling can cover the burning reaction and keep it up. Yeah. So besides that, I think that's technically all of it after my testing. Yeah, I actually, this video is actually a bit exceptionally long because my brain is slightly malfunctioning. Yeah, it's like loading, unloading, and loading and unloading. Yeah, so for those who actually watch all the way here, thank you, you guys. You guys are actually pretty impressive. Okay, so I appreciate all of your supports. Yeah, so that's all for this video, and I hope I will see you guys in the next video. Yeah, so peace, I guess.